Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I do hope you guys have subscribed already so you never miss a video, and this will help us grow, so please do that. So in this topic we will be majorly discussing translation. So three topics that I've decided to discuss in this video is going to be the history of translation in India, and is translation a discipline, interdiscipline, or multidiscipline, and the early history of translation. So let's get started directly into the first topic. So the first topic to be discussed today is the history of translation in India. So the history of translation in India is rich and diverse, reflecting the country's multilingual and multicultural heritage. Let's start with the ancient period first. Translation in India dates back to Vedic era, where the texts like Upanishads, Vedas, and epics such as Mahabharata and Ramayana were translated into various regional languages. Sanskrit was the dominant language in North India, while Prakrit and Pali were used by the common masses. The practice of translating these texts helped in disseminating religious and philosophical ideas across the region. So, the translation of these Vedas, Upanishads, and epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana was important in ancient period because it helped in translating, in distributing those ideas to the common people. Now, let's move on to the medieval period. During the medieval period, the influence of Sanskrit declined and Persian became a significant language due to the Mughal rule. Many Sanskrit texts were translated into Persian and vice versa, facilitating cultural and intellectual exchanges between the two cultures. This period also saw the translation of religious texts like Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana into Persian. So, the medieval period is the period when the Mughals came into India, right? So, uh, due to that influence, the uh, importance or the influence of Sanskrit declined and Persian became a significant language. So, the inter translation of text, like from Sanskrit to Persian and Persian to Sanskrit, became more prominent, so as the ideas and the intellectual and cultural exchange was more easier for the people of that time. Now let's move on to the colonial period. The arrival of European colonizers introduced new languages and translation practices. The British, for instance, translated Indian classical texts into English, making them accessible to global audience. This period also saw the emergence of Indian scholars who translated Western scientific and literary works into Indian languages, contributing to the spread of more modern knowledge and ideas. So same thing happened in colonial period as well, like in the medieval period, but in colonial period it happened with the Europeans, the Britishers, and the translation happened from Indian languages to English and vice versa. Now let's discuss the post independence era. So after India gained independence in 1947, translation became an essential tool for nation building and cultural integration. So, after the independence happened, translation became the major tool for nation building, and so that the cultures of India could integrate together. The government established institutions like the Central Institute of Indian Languages to promote translation and linguistic studies. Translation of literary works, scientific texts, and legal documents played a crucial role in bridging the linguistic divide and fostering national unity. During contemporary period, that is the recent years, in the recent years translation in India has continued to evolve with a focus on preserving and promoting regional languages and literature. So what they're saying now, that in recent years, now the purpose of translation has become to preserve and promote regional languages and literature. The rise of digital technology has also revolutionized the translation process, making it more accessible and efficient. Today, translation is recognized as vital component of India's culture and intellectual heritage, contributing to the country's rich tapestry of language and traditions. Translation in India has always been more than just a linguistic exercise. It has been a means of cultural exchange, intellectual growth, and social cohesion. The practice continues to thrive, reflecting the dynamic and diverse nature of Indian society. I hope you guys got an understanding of the history of translation in India. Now, moving on to the next topic, which is translation a discipline, interdiscipline, or multidiscipline? This we will discuss in detail. So, translation can be considered as a discipline, an interdisciplinary field, and a multidisciplinary field, depending on the context in which it is approached. Let's first see translation as a discipline. As a discipline, translation has its own set of theories, methodologies, and practices. It involves the study of how to accurately and effectively translate text from one language to another while preserving meaning, style, and context. Translation studies cover various aspects, including linguistic, cultural, and cognitive dimensions. Scholars in this field developed frameworks and principles to guide translators in their work, making it distinct academic discipline. Translation as interdisciplinary field. Translation often intersects with other fields, making it interdisciplinary endeavor. For instance, translating scientific text requires knowledge of the both source and the target languages, as well as expertise in specific scientific domain. Similarly, translating legal documents demand an understanding of legal terminology and concept in both languages. Translation also interacts with fields like linguistic, literature, history, and cultural studies, drawing on their theories and methods to enhance the translation process. This interdisciplinary nature allows translation to adapt to various contexts and subject matters. Now, translation as a multidisciplinary field. Translation can also be viewed as a multidisciplinary field involving collaboration among experts from different disciplines. For example, a translation project might require input from linguists, literary scholars, historians, and subject matter experts to ensure accuracy and cultural relevance. This collaborative approach helps in addressing complex translation challenges that go beyond linguistic and cultural boundaries. By bringing together diverse perspectives, multidisciplinary translation projects can achieve deeper understanding and more nuanced translation. In conclusion, translation is multifaceted field that can be approached as a discipline, an interdisciplinary field, and a multidisciplinary field. Each perspective offers unique insight and contributes to the richness and complexity of translation practices. The flexibility of translation allows it to adapt to various contexts and subject matters, making it an essential tool for cross cultural communication and understanding. I hope this topic was easy to understand because I tried making it as simple as possible for you guys to understand. Now we will be moving to the last topic for today, that is the early history of translation discipline. So let's start with ancient civilizations. Translation practices can be tracked back to ancient civilization such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Greece. One of the earliest known translation is of epic Gilgamesh, originally written in Sumerian and later translated into various Asian languages. Another significant early translation is the Rosetta Stone, an ancient Egyptian artifact inscribed with a decree in three scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Greek around 196 BC. Religious texts. The translation of religious texts played a crucial role in the early history of translation. The Hebrew Bible was translated into Greek in the 3rd century BC, known as the Septuagint. This translation was significant for the spread of Jewish scriptures among Greek speaking communities. Similarly, the Bible and the Quran have been translated into numerous languages over the centuries, making religious teaching accessible to a global audience. Classical antiquity. In classical antiquity, translation was practiced in various cultures. In India, the Vedic texts were translated into different regional languages, facilitating the spread of religious and philosophical ideas. In Greece, scholars like Herodotus and Plato discussed translation practices, emphasizing the importance of accurately conveying the meaning across languages. In during medieval period, translation became an essential tool for intellectual and cultural exchange. The Golden Age saw translation of Greek, Persian, and Indian texts into Arabic, preserving and expanding the knowledge in fields such as science, philosophy, and medicine. In Europe, the Carolingian Renaissance led to translation of Latin texts into vernacular languages, promoting literacy and education. The Renaissance period witnessed a renewed interest in classical texts and translation of ancient work into European languages. Scholars like Erasmus and Thomas More translated Greek and Latin texts, contributing to the intellectual revival of the time. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century further facilitated the dissemination of translated works, making them more accessible to a wider audience. The 19th and 20th century saw the formalization of translation as an academic discipline. Scholars like James S. Holmes and Roman Jacobson laid the foundation of translation studies, emphasizing the need of systematic approaches to translation practices and theory. Institutions in Belgium and the School of Translation and Interpretation at the University of Geneva was established to promote research and education in translation. In the recent years, translation has evolved with advancements in technology and globalization. Digital tools and machine translation have revolutionized the translation process, making it more efficient and accessible. Translation studies continue to grow as an interdisciplinary field, incorporating insights from linguistic, cultural studies, and cognitive science. The early history of translation is a testament to the enduring human quest for understanding and communication across languages and cultures. It has shaped the way we share knowledge, ideas, and stories, making it an integral part of our collective heritage. So, with this, we have concluded the three decided topics for today. I do hope you guys have understood it. If you guys need this PDF, do DM me on Instagram and do subscribe the channel. I will see you in the next video.